welcome back to the Gypsy Caravan. I'm Shan. How you doing? The balloons are from my birthday. I just didn't have a place to store them. I guess I do now. Today's video is going to be a foundation routine. I know I've done so many, it's okay, but today specifically the foundation routine that I'm going to be showing you is how to work with a stick foundation, because I think I've cracked this baby. I think I've got it right. So obviously today I'm going to be working with the Studio Fix Soft Matte Stick foundation, and I'm just going to show you how I do my foundation using it. I know I said in one or two videos, I can't actually remember, that when these launched I was still working at MAC and I thought it was a bomb idea. I'm like, cool, great, stick foundation, love that, until we actually received them in store and I just battled to use them. I did not know how to work with it. It was a very hard texture or kind of foundation to work with, and I didn't really get stuck into it because I had actually resigned already at the time that these were launched. So I just paid it no mind. I used the darker shades to contour and the lighter shades to highlight, because these as contour and highlight shades or products actually works really great on the skin. So I just kind of stuck to my guns with that until, I don't know, I got a bee in my bonnet this year and I thought, you know what, let me try it out again. Reason being is because I wanted a foundation for all my touring and traveling and things that was going to be convenient, and I figured, you know what, a stick foundation is going to get me there. So I had been using it off camera quite a bit to try and figure out a way to wear it and to try and find a way that I was happy wearing it, and I feel like I'm at an okay place enough to actually review the stick on camera now. So that's what we're doing today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will link that at the top here for you. You can follow me on all social media. I'm generally pretty much kind of underneath the same hashtag, the same handle. What am I saying? So you can follow me on that handle right here. Further than that, let's do this. I have already prepped my skin. I have done my skincare routine. It's been sitting on my face for a while. I even applied a little bit of sunscreen, just if you want to know, if you are curious to know. I have also already moisturized. So generally that would be like my first step, is your moisturizer, but that's done. So the first product I'm going to go in with is what's left of my Becca Backlight priming filter. There's not much left of it, but I'm going to use it in any case. You can hear that's empty-ish. So because it was all sitting at the top, I'm going to kind of wait for it to slide down. And while it's doing that, I just want to preference this video by saying, let me put my ring back on, that generally when it comes to any foundation, literally any foundation, my number one goal is to make the foundation wearable in the way that I like to wear it, which is always kind of sheer, a little bit glowy or really glowy, and to make it feel as if it is actually not heavy on the skin. So you can give me the heaviest foundation, I will try and find a way to manipulate it in such a way that it is not heavy, it looks glowy, it's kind of sheerish I guess, or make it look super natural on the skin without it feeling heavy, looking plucked on, and all that jazz. So that's why I specifically try and find a routine. I'm talking a lot with my hands today. And products and things that I can use to manipulate my foundations. So like, for example, full coverage foundation, medium to full coverage foundation, full coverage foundation, kind of full coverage foundation. I have full coverage foundations and I find a way to make them look as if they weren't. It's not because I can't find foundations that aren't sheer or glowy or dewy or whatever the case may be. It's just, you know, that's my thing, is to try and make foundation look more like skin and not look so heavy. So that's just like my goal. That was my goal when I was working on counter, and it was just generally, it's just generally my thing. Like I'm not gonna say I'm super good at skin, but that was just my strong point when working on a makeup counter. It's now instilled in my mind that I need to now do that with everything. Cool. So now that she's dropped to the bottom, I'm gonna take a 188 brush, just a duo fiber brush, and I'm just going to apply this primer to the skin. It's the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I think I already said that. I'm going to buff this into the skin, and like I said, because I do enjoy a really glowy looking foundation, I love to go in with all my glowy products to do that. And since Becca has a really nice, dewy, healthy, glowy finish, it was the #1 primer that I thought of when first trying to work with this foundation stick. And granted, we didn't really have this type of primer at MAC. All we had was Natural Radiance, and that worked fine, but it didn't quite give me what I wanted. I like the skin to have that very, very slight, not metallic, but glimmer to the skin. So strobe cream did that for me, but I felt like it just kind of disappeared after a while, because obviously it was a moisturizer, it seeped into the skin. Primer doesn't necessarily seep into the skin. It's a barrier that you apply to protect your skin from makeup or to withhold the makeup to the skin. It's that little layer in between your foundation and your skin. I am going to go in with a second primer. This is the Tatcha, the Silk Canvas primer. And my reasoning for using a smoothing primer like this is because I noticed in wearing the cream foundation stick, it sat in a lot of areas where I have like large pores, textured skin. It just kind of sat. It wasn't as dramatic as I'm making it to be, but it was bothersome. It was bothersome. It irked me. It bothered me. Anyway, so I'm just going to use my finger to apply, and really the only area that bothered me the most was just here on top of my nose. I do generally tend to have very large pores around my nose area because I am quite oily there. This matte stick foundation situation from MAC is medium to full coverage. It is buildable, but I don't like it when a foundation or when my skin looks like I've applied far too much. It's no, not happening. Sorry. So I generally tend to go in with a little and build up where I need it, or where I feel like I can wear a little bit more foundation, but the general consensus is to try and keep everything super glowy and natural-esque looking. So moving on, now that I've got all my primers down, I like to do under highlighting. Not necessarily under painting per se, but I do like to put all my glowy products down first and then go on top of that with the foundation. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go in with the Becca What's Up highlighting soft cream thing. It's a cream highlighter in a stick form. So I'm just going to run this on the back of my hand. Gosh, like that. So you can see it's kind of like a champagne-y goldy color. I'm doing this to warm up the product first. Generally with creams, you do want to warm them up before you apply so that they just blend and seep better into the skin. So now I'm just going to pick that up with my finger, and I'm just going to highlight my skin as per usual, as I normally would, whether I'm using a cream or a powder. I'm just going to press that in to the skin. Literally highlight your skin or your face how you would normally. So you can see I've got that nice gleam hitting the tops of my cheekbones, a little bit down the center of the nose, not too much because obviously I get oily there. I don't want to look too highlighted in that area. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go in with my foundation now. So generally, or what I have discovered, is that if I apply it with a sponge, it's okay. I actually do not like the sponge with the cream product. But then again, I haven't really tried the sponge as much. I've been using a brush, which generally does tend to pick up more product. However, the type of brush also matters too. If you go in with a chunky ass dense brush like this, it's obviously going to apply more product to the skin. Whereas if you go in with something loosey-goosey like this, which is the duo fiber I just used, it's obviously going to give you a more sheer coverage or sheer finish. However, with a sponge wet, it's fine. I can still use it, but it just didn't, I don't know, it just didn't do what I wanted it to do. It just didn't look good, in my opinion. So I'm going to use a duo fiber brush today to apply it. So this is the foundation stick here. You get, I will tell you in a second, 9 grams worth of product. So if I roll this all the way up, that's your product. I'm also technically not the shade NC18, but it's the shade I bought. I'm actually an NC17. I'm generally an NC15 and everything else because I am a ghost. But anyway, so the trick I found with a foundation stick is to not apply it straight from the stick unless you want super full flawless porcelain skin coverage. Then by all means draw until your heart is content. But if you want to have a very natural dewy matte sort of finish or look, then apply with the brush. So go into the product with the brush first and then apply, which is what I'm going to be doing. So I run my brush back and forth against the stick and just load up the brush until I feel I'm good enough with the amount that I've got on here. Cool. And then I'm going to just buff this in. I'm not going to stipple it in or push it in. I'm literally just going to start blending this out. Not picking up too much, obviously. And with me buffing and blending it out, it is going to smooth out my skin tone, my skin texture, the color of my skin, all of that. But it's going to be a super, super light application. It's not going to look heavy, and it's not going to feel heavy on the skin either. You're still going to get that really nice flawless finish and look and all of that, but it's not going to be super heavy and a lot. And you're still going to get a slight gleam of that highlighter coming through. So because this product is super buildable, you can go in as many times as you feel you need. It's super soft, so the minute it hits your skin, it's super easy to blend out. You compare the two sides, this side with foundation, this side without. You can see it's just a more evened out, smoother, more airbrush sort of finish on this side compared to this side, but it still looks as though it is my skin, just a much better version of it. And that's exactly what I kind of enjoy from foundations, be it a liquid, a cream, any of that. I feel because I've used all my glowy products first, it lends itself to creating a very natural dewy finish. It is still a very good foundation. MAC does have some of the best foundations. My only thing is that I'm just not a fan of cream. I'm just not. But I will make it work, as I always do. And it is just a very convenient foundation for on the go, for touch-ups, for if you want anti-spill and situations like that for when you travel. Then it really is not a bad foundation. I could have gotten a better color because it is slightly darker than my skin by a touch. I mean, I could make this work. But at the end of the day, I feel like you can manipulate your foundations to get them to do what you want them to do if you just take the time to really prep your skin in the way that you want the foundation to be reflected if that made any English sense whatsoever. I would definitely recommend this from anyone who's starting to wear foundation to mature ladies who have been wearing foundation, because it is still a very nice moisturizing soft matte effect. If I were really had to compare this to something that I was familiar with, I would say it is of the same soft texture as a Powder Kiss lipstick. It really has that same sort of texture, that same sort of soft focus blurring effect. So that's why I would say for a mature lady who is looking, or for a mature person who is looking for a foundation that is still kind of hydrating but still full coverage, not going to sit in any of the weird lines and wrinkles, I would definitely recommend this. I just wanted to show you how I figured out how to wear this foundation. This is probably, though, the only foundation that I would powder down. Reason being is because this actually does not sit on my skin. That's probably the only thing kind of negative I'd have to say about it, is that if I want this to last, I will need to set it with a powder, which sucks because I don't really enjoy using powders unless I'm wearing my powder foundation. Then that's a whole different situation, but I feel like this does just slide off the skin much easier than all my other foundations. It's very strange. I don't know why. It could be that it is a matte foundation, and because I've got all these glowy juicy products on underneath, that it's just got some slip and slide to it. But I think that's the only bad thing I have to say about it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you were looking to buy this or considering buying this, please do. I do believe it is a good foundation. I don't really, or very rarely, have something bad to say about a MAC foundation. Another thing to add is that this foundation is literally a true to color payoff. And basically what that means is that the color that you swipe down is the color it's going to stay. Because normally I find, everyone knows this, is that with the Studio Fix fluids, they do tend to oxidize and get quite dark on the skin. And a lot of people do not enjoy that happening, where with this it does not oxidize. The color you put on now at 8 o'clock in the morning is the color you'll have 10 o'clock tonight. It's true to color payoff. There is a huge amount or range of shades in this collection, in your NWs, in your NCs, and I think also the neutral shades. I actually cannot remember. So if you're looking for a good stick foundation, I would definitely recommend this. It is a good product, it's a good brand, and you should try it out. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope what I said made sense and that you found something in this video that was helpful. I feel like I was all over the place and kind of rambly, but I feel like I made my point at the end of the day. Maybe, I don't know. Watch it again if you didn't. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can do so in the next slide, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so that you are notified every time I upload a video here on my channel, and you can be the first to watch. Don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend who's maybe considering buying this foundation as well, and don't forget to follow me on social media. I am currently not in the country, so this is a pre-recorded situation video. But that's fine. I will be back soonish by the time this goes up. I don't actually know where I'm going to upload this, but I'll be back soon. And I have a whole lineup of videos coming out now, previously, and still to come. So be sure to check those out. Don't forget, wherever you can, refer the Gypsy Caravan. Bye!